Thank you so much for joining me today. This is seemownay, and I am setting up my December creative log and journal, whatever you want to call it. I am using the Cocoa Daisy Mini Daisy Dory as a base, but I'm actually taking out the staples and adding some papers and no, I'm not reorganizing the papers. I'm just adding things in between so that it looks more like a junk journal. And the first step that I do is take apart the staples, and then I'm looking through to find out where I can add pages. I should have done that in the beginning because I realized that there is not a lot of real estate in the Mini Daisy Dory this month because there are 6 weeks, and so there's a lot more spreads with divided pages, and so the only place I can actually add is add on the outside, because as you can see there's divided pages and then there's one spread and then we're already in the middle. So well, then that's okay, I can live with that. And so what I do is when I unboxed all of my kits, I had the idea to maybe include one of the glassine bags into my journal, and you will see that how I do that later on. I'm using the craft cover as a template, so I know where to fold. This paper is 6x6 size, and it is from the memory keeping pocket kit from Cocoa Daisy, and so I'm using a bone folder to get a really nice crease. And then again, using the craft folder as a template, I'm using my pencil, and what I'm doing is I'm not going all the way to the edge because it's always a bit wonky there, and so I don't want my papers to spill out of the cover. I'd rather have them be a tiny sliver too short. It doesn't make a difference, you won't see it, but it's just personal preference that I do it this way. So as you can see, I used a punch. This is a notebook punch, and my paper doesn't go all the way to the edge, but that is exactly what I really like. And if you are looking at junk journals on Instagram or YouTube, pages are never the same size. There is so much junk in there that this is a very mild version of junk journaling, but I really, really love it. And I like that the pages aren't the same size, that they have different textures. And so that's my take of, or what I took from junk journaling, is just adding some pages to my Daisy Dory. Last year, for December, I made a junk journal as well. And I went to my local library, to their library shop, and looked for music books. And I found one. I think this was just $1, if at all. And so I went back to the stash of books that I have and took out a paper. And now again, I'm using this cover as a template, and to just make it easy on myself, I'm using the crease that is already there and then just cutting the paper out. And this time I could have ripped the pages, that is junk journally, but yeah, let's just not judge because I'm using a trimmer. I just didn't even think of that. It would have been nice though, next time maybe. So yeah, you can see I added the music paper, and then I thought, well, maybe next thing to add is the glassine bag, but I don't want it to hang out. So I had to refold the bag, and then I have this one piece of paper. Again, it's a 6x6 paper, and it is not going to be going all the way to the edge. And what I did with the other 6x6 paper, I actually made sure that one side of the page was the same size as my Mini Daisy Dory, pages, and so the other one was a lot shorter. This one, you can see it's, if I would measure in centimeters, it's probably just 1 centimeter short to reach the edge of the book. But that gives a nice texture, and sometimes you can hang out some ephemera or a tag or something, and it really looks very nice in a book. So now I'm using these binder clips to put the book back together, and since I already have holes in there, the holes from the staples, I'm just repurposing them and repunching them for this book because there's new pages, so I have to go through all of them. And then I'm eyeballing the middle between the distance of the upper and the lower staple holes and adding another hole. So in total I have 5 holes, and then I'm using 3 strands of embroidery thread, and I'm threading a needle, and then I'm starting at the bottom, having the thread inside, and I'm going up and down, just like weaving. And then when I'm at the end, I'm turning around and going back. And then the only thing I do is I'm going through the first staple holes twice, just because it feels sturdier that way. And then I'm knotting the knot 2 or 3 times. And then before I cut it off, I'm looping the thread ends through the, you saw me there, I'm looping them through the existing binding and just adding a knot, and then I'm calling it done. So I'm flipping through. This is what it looks like now. I have added some pages into the book, and I don't think I did it in November, but in October I actually glued together 2 Daisy Dory pages because they were just not my style, and I had the idea to include a tag. And so what I did then, I did kind of took away space, which makes journaling as easier. The Daisy Dory has 36 pages, I think, and so if you add more and more, you put on a lot more workload. And so by reducing the pages again, that helps, if you know what I mean. But I have actually found that I do find quite some things to add to this Daisy Dory, so that I'm not standing there at the end of the month and thinking, oh my gosh, what could I add here to fill it? I'm almost done with November, just because I usually order my photos online, and so I'm usually behind by 1 or 2 weeks. And since those photos haven't arrived yet, I'm not done with my November journal, but I'm almost done, and it's never space that is left. Sometimes it's actually, oh, which photo am I not going to put in? So you saw me, I'm working on the cover now. I finished the book. The next step that I do is working on the cover, and I used this cork piece that came in the one of the memory keeping kits, and then I also used this patch that came, it's an embroidered patch, a tree that came in the classified the classified planner edition. We had 2 of them, and then I usually make sure that I add the December sticker from the pretty sticker sheet that comes in the planner kit. And, well, this might throw some of you off because these people are adorable, but they're just not my style. I really don't like having people in my planner, and you might think, well, wait a minute, you are always using planner stickers with these cute girls. Yeah, because they look like girls and not like people with high heels and painted nails. That's just not me, or that look like women. I kind of feel like a little girl when I create, or a child maybe. That sounds really strange, but it's just not something that I like, and instead of just putting away all of the things and not using them at all, I decided to find different solutions to cover them up, and those brown doilies worked really perfectly. What I really love about them is that they're actually, if you look closely, if you got the kit, you have to do that. Have a look at them. It looks like, to me, it's a catalog of someone who musical notes. So you could purchase some kind of music, sheet music from there, and that works really well with the sheet music that I included into this junk journal. Isn't that funny? I found that out later on. It wasn't on purpose, but nobody would know if I said I had done it on purpose, because it could very well be. Now, again, you won't ever know that there was a girl. It looks like I just added something in there as a layered pieces. And yeah, the easiest way definitely is using these doilies. And since I have them, and since I actually like the way they look and make this whole insert feel kind of rustic and antique-y, that's totally the way I am going. And also, if you have things included in your planner more than once, it makes it feel more intentional. Okay, now I really love the saying that is included in that dashboard, but again, it's this girl, and so I decided I could just cut out the wreath, and you will never ever know that there was a girl attached at the bottom. If you wonder why you are watching this video not on my channel, which I will add it to my channel, and you could very well watch it on my seemownay channel, but on the Coco Daisy channel, then I'll tell you that I am jumping in for Christine, and I'm taking part in a winter YouTube hop that was initiated by the Angel Shop. And she has found several other YouTubers to participate in this hop today, and there is this huge giveaway loop, and if you comment on each of our videos and make sure you subscribe to our channels, or in this case the Coco Daisy channel, but I'm not upset if you head on over to my own channel and subscribe there as well, and answer one of all three of the questions that are asked on each of the videos, then you are eligible to win this whole loop prize, and it is an amazing prize. It is, well, let me think. If I'm not going to think, and I know that there are several is a little bit less. There are a lot of shops who contributed with gift cards to their shops. And I will add all of the information on how to participate and how you are eligible to win, what you have to do, in the description box below. Please, if you want to take part in this hop, make sure you read it and do all the steps that are listed there. And yeah, we would love for you to participate and comment and win, definitely. I keep my fingers crossed for you. The question you will have to ask for me is, what is your favorite season? And I'm asking this because this is a winter loop, and I was like, okay, so winter is definitely not my favorite season. And so I would love to know what your favorite season is and what you love about your favorite season most. So you saw me, I finished up decorating the insert so far. I have the cover, I have covered up all the girls, and now I inserted it into this traveler's notebook from Foxy Fix. I received it in their most recent mystery sale, and it went perfectly with the colors of the Cocoa Daisy kits, and so I decided to use it right away, even though it is pink, or just because it is pink, because I'm usually not, or definitely I never had a pink planner, but this looks really nice and cute, and so I decided to use it for December. And if you know me, and if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I never decorate my pockets, but this time the things that lay around the pockets inspired me to actually decorate them. And so that is exactly what I did. I'm done with the planner. I cut off the pen loop because I'm never going to use that. I just don't really like the pen loops in the single planners, and so I'm just not going to use it. And then I'm looking through the cards and things that I might want to add. And since I'm not really sure where I want to put what, I decide, well, I definitely need to date the whole insert, and so that is what I'm going to do now. But I'm not going to make you watch me stamp out all the days. What I usually do is I use my pencil to date it ahead of time, so that when I use the numbers, I can go through to all the ones and stamp all the ones, stamp all the twos, and so on, so that I'm using my time and the stamps more. Well, it's mostly economical use of my time, not so much of ink, because an ink pad isn't that expensive. I'm using my Jibun Techo, that is my planner, or yeah, the planner, not my creative outlet, my planning outlet for next year. And I actually used the stickers from the add-on kit to decorate my monthly view. And yeah, you can see here, showing you, I'm just going through and looking for all the ones that I'm using, and then I'm stamping those here. And I actually thought I had done that, but yeah, I wanted to show you that I have been using this stamp chamois from Lawn Fawn for about 2 years now, and it is great. I just use water and wet it, and then when I'm stamping and need to clean my stamp, I just rub my stamp across the surface of the stamp chamois, and it's not taking off all the color of the paint. Some inks just stain the stamps. That doesn't make them less usable, but it definitely removes all the over residue ink that is on the stamp. And then I just put it away. I never keep it moist because it started smelling when I did that, and so I just let it dry, and the next time I use it, I just run over to my sink and make it wet again. And so that is what I do. The numbers that I used to stamp the day, or the numbers, were included in, I want to say it was one of the memory keeping kits, and I really love them. They look very typewriter-ish, antique kind of. It goes really well with the sheet music and also the vintagey doilies. And now I'm adding these days of the week stickers from the functional sticker sheet from the planner kit, and I'm adding them sideways because their width is almost the same height as the numbers, and I really like how they nestle together most of the time. I'm a big fan of nestling things together, and so if that happens, then I'm really happy when I can nestle things together. So I'm all done. I stickered all the days of the week, And now I'm looking through the Coco Daisy stamps, not stamps, the stickers, and see what I can add right before the month actually starts, like all the holidays, um, all the important dates. There are usually some of them are included, or most of them are included on the sticker sheet, and so you can. I usually use these stamped inks. No, I'm totally confused. This is a very long video. Um, so I'm using these stickers usually to mark these special days. And then I often forget to add this Hello December sticker, and I love having it right above the first day of the month. And so when I saw it there, I decided to put it right in at that second, because yeah, next time I'm adding it in, I might just forget, or not. I might just forget. And then I found these gold foiled stars. I don't even know if they came in the kit or if I had them in my stash somewhere. I liked them and I decided to put them on Christmas, on the 2 Christmas days there, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And yeah, they're used. And that's what it's all about, right? To be able to use most of the things that came in our kits. There was one that said Happy New Year or Welcome 2019 that I added to the 31st. Then I have this banner that says weekend, and I put it down and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks awful. And so that's why I waved my hands. I was like, okay, whenever I'm getting back to this, I need to change something about this. And there's another weekend banner in the add-on kit, in the die cuts, and since I usually have several weekends, and I just went ahead and looked for another one where I could place the weekend banner. Then while I'm putting things back into my box, I'm looking at them and thinking if I can actually use them someplace. See, here. We're going to travel in December, and so I'm marking the day when we're going to be back home. There is a heart that says love home. And so I thought, well, I will definitely love being back home then. And so I added it to the first day back home. Then I am moving that weekend banner because I really don't like it just diagonal like that. I'm a great fan of having a reason for why it's diagonal, and I didn't like it, and so there was no reason, and so I made it straight. Again, looking at all the things, and I put that card back in, even though I thought I was going to use it. But I'm definitely going to make sure I have some space in this notebook to put it there, because I really love what it says. So now I am working on my charm. It was on a little chain, and I didn't need the chain since my planner is this small. And so having the chain is really great if you have a planner that needs it, but I didn't. So I just removed it and closed all the connector rings, and then I'm done. And now I'm zoomed in and I'm flipping through this one more time. Here is the pocket and the cover, and then I have this wreath, I have a vellum, this pattern paper, and then the pages of the mini Daisy Dory that I have all prepped. I covered up one of the girls with the doily here. Then let's look at the rest. Yeah, I accidentally stamped over there, so I covered it up with a banner. Here are some of my inserted pages. There's a pocket right here, and another page that I inserted. And I'm just grabbing a card to show you that I might need to cut something off, but I could really imagine having a square photo in there and then put that on a card so that it could be pulled out, or a tag with some kind of string so that it gets more texture. And then I have this one. I just cut off the top of the bag there. It was closed, but then I have a top loading pocket right here. And yeah, so then the divided pages continue. And even though my month is split into several pieces, I don't really mind. This is what all of it looks like. And I'm really happy how it turned out. I cannot wait to fill it up. And by the time you are watching this, I'm probably already working hard on filling it up. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this long setup video. I hope you were inspired. I hope you are going to check out the other participants in this hop, and don't forget to answer the question, which is, what is your favorite season and why? Thank you so much for your time. I will see you soon. Bye.